Hi everybody, and thanks so much for joining me on my channel this week. This week I'm happy to share an easy muffin recipe that I found through Marie Bostwick's blog online, which I will link down below. And following that, I will be sharing with you just my wrap up to Ramadan and how it went, and my week 18 update through the Weight Watchers app. I was recently looking up recipes for muffins, something that would be healthy and point-friendly with Weight Watchers. I came across a blog belonging to Marie Bostwick, who created the Miracle Muffin. So I thought, why not try them? Very simple. Altogether, there are 3 ingredients, and of course there are variations. So the 3 basic ingredients would be the Kodiak Cake Power Cake Flapjack and Waffle mix. So the original recipe calls for a half cup. I'm going to be doing a double batch today, so I've got 1 cup of the Kodiak cake mix in this bowl here. It requires 2 eggs for the original version of the recipe, but since I am doubling up the recipe, I have 4 eggs here. And then it calls for 2 bananas for the original recipe, and I've got 4 here. So that would make the basic muffin, Miracle Muffin, which equates to 1 point. Now today I'm going to be making this muffin, but with 2 variations. So I'm going to be trying a chocolate chip muffin. So I will be using the basic ingredients here, along with about 2 tablespoons of organic baking cocoa powder. And then I've got here about 2 servings of Lily's dark chocolate chips. For the second variation, I have a half cup of blueberries. These ones are frozen, and I'm going to be adding to it lemon zest for a blueberry lemon muffin. I have put these both into my tracker for blue, and they also both equate to 1 point each. So I think this will be a nice little change and something that the whole family can enjoy. So I'm just going to move everything out of the way here, and we will start combining the ingredients together. The recipe itself is very easy to prepare. I'm going to get my bowl here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mash the bananas. So please bear with me as I open these up. Now, the banana peels I'm actually going to hang on to. We have started composting this year, and of course banana peels are a great addition to any compost. Lots of nutrients that can be found in the banana. Now you want to try and get ripe bananas. Now that's something that I was having a little bit of difficulty finding in the stores. And of course bananas are a hot ticket item in our household, especially with fruit being free on Weight Watchers. It's definitely something that I choose to eat a little more than I used to. Bananas were never really my favorite, but I sure appreciate having them available. You know, if I'm feeling hungry, sometimes I'll eat it with a little bit of peanut butter, or cut it up into some yogurt, and it's such a nice nourishing snack. So I'm just gonna take a fork here and mash mash these bananas if they want to be mashed. All right. I don't know if you guys have tried this one before. I'm always looking for different ways to incorporate some healthier recipes and always adapting things. Okay, so I'm just going to mash this together. Okay. That looks pretty good to me. So to this, I'm going to be beating a couple eggs. I'm just going to do this right in the bowl here, just with a fork. I'm actually going to be saving our eggshells as well, because these are also a great addition to any compost. So I'm actually just going to use the same fork and just quickly whisk these together. All right, and now I'm going to add that to the mix here. Actual whisk here before we add our Kodiak cakes. Okay, that looks good to me. So now I'm going to be adding 1 cup of Kodiak cake flour. I'm just going to add that there, and we'll give that a stir. So if this is what you were hoping for with just a basic muffin recipe, this is where you would be stopping. But I thought today might be a good day to try a couple different variations. Of course, you can do, I think, whatever you really like. If you're into apple cinnamon, it might be nice to grate some apple into this and add a sprinkle of cinnamon. You could do vanilla and roasted almonds. Toasted almonds. I think that would be really yummy. Okay, this looks good to me. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put this off to the side, and I am going to take a couple bowls and I'm going to separate this out into half. So here we've got our 2 different bowls. So to this, I'm going to be adding a couple tablespoons of cocoa powder. This one I picked up from Costco. I know if you go into the regular stores, often you'll find cocoa. Just watch for the sugar that could be hidden inside there. I find that the organic cocoa seems to be very low in points. Doesn't have all that added sugar. This one here is a Dutch processed cocoa powder. I'm actually just going to try 1.5 tablespoons and see how far that gets me. I don't want it to be too chocolatey, but I do want to enjoy the chocolate flavor as well. I'm just going to fold this in. Now I do believe that there are other Kodiak cake flavors that are out there. I personally have not purchased any of them to date, but I figured today I could quickly just make my own chocolate version by adding the cocoa powder. All right, I think that's good enough for us. And I will add to it the 2 servings. It says this is about 30 grams of the Lily's dark chocolate chips. I'll just fold that in. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to put this one off to the side for now. And for this one, I will add the the 1/2 cup of frozen blueberries. It's a hot day here today, so these are melting fast. Oh, we have one blueberry that escaped. I have already washed the outside of my lemon, and I'm just going to use the microplane to get the zest from the lemon. You want to make sure not to get the white inside. That will give a bitterness to your muffin, which you don't want. So we're just looking for the outside, very yellow part of the lemon. So I'm just working my way around here. Okay. Now with the microplane, there's always zest that gets stuck in behind here. All right. Of course, you could add more if you wish, but this looks good for me. So now I'm just going to fold this all together. Might have some purple muffins here. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it there. I don't make it completely purple. Okay. So now I'm just going to pull up our baking tin here. And I'm actually just going to give these a light spray just with some original Pam. And this looks good to me. Just going to grab a spoon. Okay, and so this, for each batch, they make 6. So I'm just going to spoon this in and make sure that I have spaced it out so that the 6 muffins for each version here are even. I'm gonna turn this around and I'm gonna do the same for the blueberry lemon muffins. These do go into a 350-degree oven, and they are to bake for approximately 22 to 25 minutes. So as soon as I get this filled, I do have them ready to go into an already preheated oven. Okay, I think this looks good. All right, so I'm gonna pop these in and I will be back with the finished product. Okay, so I have had a chance to pull these out of the oven and they have cooled, so the pan is good to go here. So I'm just gonna pop these out. I think these look great. This one here is the, of course, the blueberry lemon. Get these out. One thing I've noticed right off the hop is they do feel a little bit denser than a regular muffin, but I think that's going to be okay. So there we have it. Our blueberry lemon Kodiak miracle muffin and our chocolate chip miracle muffin. Hard to believe that both of these are 1 point each. That's a fair size for just being 1 point. So this is going to be lovely. I'm going to give this a try right away and let you know how it tastes. So as you can see, that recipe was super easy to pull together, and I think overall these turned out quite lovely. Super cute, actually. I think they're just the right size, and as I mentioned, you can do multiple different variations with this muffin. I think if you wanted to jazz it up a little bit, if you had company coming over, sprinkling maybe some Swerve icing sugar over top would give it a very nice and classic look to the muffin itself. So I'm going to go ahead and try these. As I mentioned, I have not tried them before, and let's see how they taste. So here I have 2 small pieces that I have cut. So I will try the lemon blueberry one first. So right away, I can pick up on the lemon. It's the first thing I smelled as I brought it up to my mouth. Very moist on the inside with a nice crust on the outside for the muffin. I got a little hint of blueberry in there, so that was quite nice and refreshing. And I think using the frozen blueberries worked out just fine. I wasn't sure if it was going to make the batter too loose being frozen, but it looks like it worked out quite lovely. So I will try the chocolate chip. I see right off the hop, I can see banana in here. I do see some of the chocolate chips throughout the batter, so that's nice to know that it didn't completely melt away as some chocolate chips do. So I'll go ahead and give this a try. Not bad. I think the blueberry lemon is my favorite out of the 2. For the chocolate muffin, I definitely pick up on the banana more so, but still is a nice change up. So I think maybe next time I might add a little bit of more chocolate chips perhaps. If I'm doing that though, I will have to recalculate the points. It might bump up the points a little bit. So anyways, I think this is a lovely option and definitely worth trying. So yeah, great. I'm glad this worked out. I'll have to see what my husband thinks. Now to wrap up how the rest of our Ramadan went. Overall, I would say the month itself went very well. We made a lot of good healthy food choices, especially for myself. Really cut back on the heavier meals, the high sugar, high fat, and overall it just allowed for better energy, better sleep, quality. I wouldn't say I had a lot of sleep during the month because, as I mentioned in previous videos, you know, we're having to stay up late and wake up early in order to get our food consumption in a short amount of time. But my quality of sleep was so much better just because I didn't have the regular heartburn that I usually experience. I would say that on average, I typically lose around, with Weight Watchers, 2 to 2.2 pounds per week, and it appears as though for the month of Ramadan I lost about 10 pounds of weight throughout the month. So super exciting for those results, and yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it again next year. I think maybe incorporating intermittent fasting throughout the course of this year might be an option. I'm going to see how I adjust. Right now, things have been going really well. As I mentioned in my last video, I was super happy to get coffee in my system. This is something that I generally do in the morning. I try not to drink coffee in the evening, and right now it's the afternoon. And I've got the awkward sun on me right now, but anyways, so I won't be having coffee right now, but I do like to fill up on water. So this is sometimes something that I do struggle with getting my water in. I know in my last video, I did mention that this was going to be a goal of mine, and so far it's been going really well. So I got this new water bottle, and it's funny how a new water bottle tends to kick you into gear again. So I've been drinking an average of probably anywhere between 4 and 6 of these. It's a 750 ml bottle, and so I've been actually getting quite a bit of water in over the last week. My other goal, which was to move more I have managed to do that. I know that my average step count was about 5,000 per day. I have managed to increase that to just over 6,000. So I'm hoping to keep that momentum going and just overall keep my body moving and being active. Now on to my week 18 update. So yesterday I was able to do my Weight Watchers check-in, as I do every Monday, and I'm happy to say that I am down 3 pounds for this last week, which brings my new total to 38.2 pounds gone. I'm always happy when I start seeing those numbers kind of roll in. Now, I don't base my whole health and wellness just on the scale. I put other tools in place, like how my clothes are fitting, how I'm feeling, how I'm sleeping, and everything is showing improvement. And how I know this, I am happy to be moving my body. I am excited to be doing things. Whereas before I was just kind of dogging it or finding excuses to get out of doing things. But now it's just been, okay, we gotta go, let's go. We need to do this, let's do it. And so this last week, we have been quite busy, lots of movement. We have been doing a little bit of renovating around the home and of course getting our garden prepared. As I mentioned during the video, when I was preparing the recipe, we are also composting. So that's been an exciting venture as we pull that composting together. Perhaps as things start to grow, I will be able to show you our garden and perhaps what we're able to harvest this year. So overall, my week 18 went super well. I would say that my goals for this week are to continue moving, continuing to get my steps in, keeping my water up daily. I'm a little bit behind today, but I will be catching up. I've already a couple bottles down, and just continuing to make those healthful food choices. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope that you are getting all the time that you need for you in order to make the choices in your life that will bring you health and wellness, whether it is getting more rest, more activity, or just time for yourself to just breathe. This is so important, and I encourage you to look for something that is a special time just for you, whether it's pulling out a book, doing something to move your body, going for that walk, and just maybe putting on a podcast or some music that you like and just boogieing in your kitchen. That's something that I enjoy doing. So anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Take care.